the previous version, the older one, to the newest one, the FlashStart 2026. A lot of stuff has already been done, and I believe we are at a very good point. The new cloud box, the local on-premise DNS cache, has just been released, and we are waiting by the end of June to roll out the client shield endpoint protection. From July, finally, definitely, the new platform will be completed. But today, let's talk about the cloud box. But before that, let me mention something. If we have some new visitors, FlashStart is a company focused on cybersecurity regarding malware and content filtering protection. We protect millions of users in more than 156 countries in the world using the AI DNS technology. My name is Francesco Collini. I'm both founder and CEO of FlashStart, and my personal experience comes from system engineering and security expert. I've been working for more than 20 years with different systems, both Linux and Windows, starting from the very old Windows NT 4.0, and I've been installing with my staff Cisco Umbrella and OpenDNS and other US competitors. And in 2012, between 2012 and 2013, we had an intuition. We had the idea of creating a new, powerful, and much easier DNS filtering platform. And FlashStart in 2013 was born, and 10 years using the legacy dashboard, and today I'm very glad to talk about the new platform. Today we will talk about the cyber and the geo-risk. We absolutely need to put some barriers, to put some shields against malware, phishing, and malicious IP addresses. FlashStart, I believe, is a very good answer. FlashStart is a very good actor against the global cyber threats, and it's a very intuitive tool to defend users, networks, and data. Some of our targets: so malware protection, content filter, DNS intelligence. Everything is based on AI, obviously, because we monitor more than 50,000 new domains per day, and the artificial intelligence is strictly important for us to be effective and to protect our users from the 0 days threat and also from the global geo-risk. To move forward, let me just share the global network. The global network has been growing a lot during last years. We are adding data centers, new nodes month by month, and we have a very good latency. If we compare the FlashStart latency against the other main competitors, Google included, we believe we can offer a very good service all around the world. I believe except Russia and China, where there is no market for us. Unfortunately, Russia is very complicated at the moment, and China is already, I would say, very well filtered. Some numbers of hours, and then let me just speed up with the technical parts. We protect more than 32 million users every day for more than 40 million devices. I believe the number of devices is a bit underestimated, since a single user, a person, up to now can use an average of 2, 3, or 4 different devices, okay? The workstation, the laptop, the mobile, and maybe some Apple Watch. So everything has been working through DNS, and it's very easy to apply filters, protections, and DNS diversion. The new dashboard, I believe most of you has already followed some webinars, and I believe it's 1 year we have been presenting new webinars to starting from the legacy beta, the very first features, and today I believe we are at a very good point, and we will some references. We will talk about the on-premise cloud box. So the new element, what's that? The on-premise cloud box today will help us to install an on-premise. It's a virtual machine. It's ready for VMware, Proxmox, Hyper-V, and it's really compatible with any virtualization layer, but it can also be deployed on a dedicated hardware, despite I strongly suggest to take benefit of the virtualization system. It can manage its local policy routing, endorse sorry about that, endorse custom DNS forwarding, and it can bring the latency on recursion to 0 milliseconds. Today we will use a MikroTik router, but it's compatible with every router, device, firewall, and other third-party equipments. We have lots of dealers using MikroTik, and that's why today I am using MikroTik for my exercise. Let's go live now, and let me share my screen. Share screen. Okay. Entire screen. Okay. Please tell me if you can display my screen properly, if I am properly sharing my screen. Let me just see some answers right now. Yes, okay, thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much. So this is the FlashStart 2026 dashboard. Let me just share a very quick brief of the dashboard. The dashboard is multi-tenant, so a single dealer, a single MSP can manage the entire customer base through the same dashboard. It's possible, obviously, to enable 2FA to switch into dark mode if you prefer. I am pretty traditional. I am using the light, despite my younger guys are using the dark mode, but it's your choice. The first page can display some recap numbers, such as total DNS request, block threats, allow DNS request, and request to not existing domains. We can customize the blocks in the home page, and we can decide to display different items on the home page graphic snapshots. It's obviously possible to access the full report section and switch between reports. It's possible to apply filters, to export PDF, to browse within the last 6 months of DNS history, and it's also possible every time to integrate the APIs to embed both reports and FlashStart features into your own dashboard if you have one. FlashStart 2026 is also able to manage the multi-admin environment. We can create different admins. For example, I can create a Mr. Brown. I can add an email, brown@flashstart.com, and then I can select a different role. For example, read-only admin, policy manager to just manage policies, the editor, can do something more, or full control. Let me just create a low-level privilege administrator. I believe the password wasn't right. A capital letter, okay. I believe brown number 2. Fantastic. So I have created another admin, and he will be able to manage the FlashStart dashboard with less privileges. The audit section is very useful if you're handling an enterprise environment, so you can exactly track who did something. The protection menu can allow you to create different policies. I can create a dedicated policy, for example, example protection. I can share the policy between my tenants, so I can reuse the same policy for my tenants, and I can select to start with a custom template, for example, malware and threats, or malware and unwanted contents, or start from scratch. If I decided to start from scratch, I can I can fine tune the policy. I have a threat intelligence. I can select most of the official threats. I can also check something into the community threat intelligence. It's good, but we can accept some more false positives, since we are using a community-based threat intelligence. If we use the FlashStart official threat intelligence, I believe the number of false positive will be lower. And I can, okay, I can access the content filter, so I can enable categories in the parental control. I can, for example, block advertising or something else. We also offer the national block list and foundation. We have the block list from IWF in the UK, from Italy, of course, we are Italian, from Costa Rica, from Peru, from Spain, from UK. We officially embed the UK CTIRU anti-terrorism blacklist from Colombia and from Brazil. So if you have something public from your country, just send an email to our support desk, support@flashstart.com, and we will be very happy to start integrating your country-based the blacklist. The application blocker can block different application based on the necessary solution. So I can block, for example, dating websites. I can block VPNs. It's possible because NordVPN or other VPN are using the necessary solution to start their service, and we can divert DNS resolution towards them. Geo-blocking is useful to block DNS traffic to country-based server-located environment. For example, right now, it's better to block DNS traffic towards Russia, since Russia is very compromised at the moment. The safe search can enable the safe environment in the most important search engines, and also in YouTube. And we can also play with TLD blocking, such as blocking on country extension domains, or dedicated domain, such as domain.xxx, which is deliberately pornography. The advanced section can enable more feature, and very soon the EDNS protocol will be live to integrate more features for tracking internal machines. More routers today are been using EDNS. Fritzbox is using EDNS, MikroTik 2, Palo Alto, Cisco, Huawei, etc. Now, let me go to the deployment section. It will be possible to pass to stick questions as soon as I finish in some minutes. Today, we'll explain how to roll out the protection. We can play with your public network. So for example, if you just want to use the FlashStart service from the cloud, you just add your public IP address, for example, 6.7.9, and sorry, let me just main office. I can roll out a static IP, a static CIDR, or a public range. Okay, if you are a telco, an ISP, probably you would take benefit of a static range. Let me just create the simplest case. I'm gonna stick my public IP address right here. I'm gonna add it, and then the system says it's orange because I have no policy connected to this. I will click right here and I will select a policy, the example protection, the previous policy I have just created, and I will assign a DNS couple. It's possible to assign more DNS couple since for both IPv4 and IPv6, obviously, since I can enable multi-profile within the same source network by connecting different DNS couples to different policies. I can stick a note, for example, main policy for my headquarter offices. Okay, I will confirm, and then the network session will be down, and the status is now green. Today, we are starting the installation of a local cloud box, okay, to put something on premise and to speed up the latency and the traffic in a very crowded environment. The cloud box is something you need to install on premise. As I said before, the guide is right here. It's pretty well written. I believe that it will be easier to manage everything. You can download the software. The ISO image is neutral. It can be deployed everywhere. Or for other kind of users, it's possible to download the ready-made images for Hyper-V, for VMware, and for Proxmox. Okay, I can download image and I will simply connect to my virtualization environment, and then I will start the image. As soon as I have loaded the software into my virtual environment, I need to add a new cloud box. For example, let me call Milan Office Cloud Box. Next step, the system asked me to create a username. For example, I will create Milan Menus Cloud Box, and I will choose a password. This is okay. Oh, thanks. It's pretty boring. North Pass, Milan Cloud Box, and I will select a password. Next, the system will ask select a default policy. So if you do not specify any policy mapping, the cloud box will start filtering with the example protection policy I can choose, and I will click on add cloud box. The system again prompts me to download software and to read the guide. Close. Now the Milan Office Cloud Box has been created and status is pending. Why? Because I need to configure my cloud box. Before starting the webinar, to speed up the explanation, I've just deployed the cloud box, and I can access through VMware, Proxmox, or through the remote SSH environment. It's very easy. The instruction and the default credential are properly displayed in the guide. Number one, system name. I want to change it Milan office.flashstart.com. Fine. And then network configuration. It's been done. I have a public IP address. already made. Public address, subnet, network, gateway, MTU. Very simple. Do you want to change the configuration? No. Back. Device activation, number 3. Do you want to set the login data? Yes. And right here, we will need to enter the login and password I have created previously in the dashboard. The username was Milan Cloudbox, and my password. Then the system will check it's positive, and I will start the device initialization. The system work. It's a beta. My machine is a beta. No worry, but it's fine. And now the system says, okay, API call status good. It says the system is properly communicated with the Cloudbox. Now, the pending indicator, if I come back again to the page, should start becoming green. Let me check. Green, the system says it's active. It communicates the public IP, so the IP address which sends DNS query out, together with the internal IP address. Pay attention, guys and ladies. We will use the internal address to perform DNS resolution, because the Cloudbox is on premise. So this will be our address. And if I go here, I'm using dig, but if I use dig, let me add +short, and I ask to resolve Google, the system properly proceeds. I can also resolve Microsoft.com, and the Cloudbox gets data and then sends to the cloud. Let me remove the +short and let me resolve, for example, Logitech.com. So the first time the system takes 26 milliseconds to perform DNS recursion. The second time, the latency is 0 milliseconds, since for until the DNS record doesn't expire, the Cloudbox will offer a DNS resolution from the cache, and the system will speed up, obviously, DNS resolution. The login section will start populating. So right here, the log starts, and then I can browse my logs as soon as they come. The system takes a bit to ingest new reports, but it's working fine. Let me just come back to the Cloudbox menu, since I said, okay, so everyone using the internal IP address will attach the default protection, the example protection, but I can map different policy. For example, we would like to say, okay, the CEO desktop IP address will need to be filtered with another policy. How to do? It's very simple. I will click on Add Policy Mapping, and I will select CDR, an IP, or a static range. Let me just stick an IP. I will say the CEO IP address will filter with standard policy. Okay, the default is example, but I wanna make the CEO filter with the standard policy. The system already check the cloud boxes, since we can handle more than one cloud box. I'm gonna click on Add Mapping, and the system says, whenever we get queries from this IP address, you need to use the standard policy rather than the example protection policy, which is the default. let me just create another example with a static range. If I have a Wi-Fi network releasing IP for, I don't know, from 100 to 200, we can match another policy, the master protection policy. And then the cloud box will divert DNS traffic from these IP range to the master protection policy. Then, third point, DNS forwarding. If we have a local zone, let me cancel and do it again. So if we have, for example, some internal zones which must be treated as local, for example, an Active Directory zone or a local website or a local intranet, we can add a DNS forwarding. How? I can add our internal domain, FlashStart.local, and I can specify the internal IP address, primary, and then the secondary IP address. Obviously, the cloud box, the involved cloud box have been already selected. Add DNS forwarding. It says that for whatever .flashstart.local, do not use the FlashStart cloud network for DNS resolution, but divert forward that specific DNS query to those two DNS IP addresses. I'm gonna check report, so traffic is populating, and the log search right here should start giving some traffics, philips.com, etc. So the system now refresh logs, and the traffic should arrive in some minutes. Okay, it's not immediate, but it takes a bit to get traffic. So the cloud box is a new environment to complete the network configuration. The software is here, and the guide are pretty well documented. You can check everything, and you can display every section. A new environment, the Ask FlashStart AI is a new tool. If I go here, so if I go to the AI and I want to know how to block pornography, I can write how can I block pornography. I will ask on Ask, and then the system will start writing the answer and link some interesting documentation. Okay, it's a first AI usage in FlashStart. It says, okay, go to protection policy, open policy, navigate into parental control group, and toggle pornography or block the entire group if needed. And below, the system also links the proper guides to complete the selection. The support is here, both chat, platform guides, and community. And it's also possible to access the community dashboard with the feature request. If you have an idea, please share it with us, and you can also vote the preferred items and idea. The bug report, it's obvious, every software can have bugs, and the bug reports can help the FlashStart team to properly track and solve bugs. The roadmap tasks helps you to understand whatever will be done, and the migration tab also keeps you up to date about the migration steps. Some other features right here. I would need much more time, but it's possible to create exception group. For example, we want to create the personal whitelist exception, I can assign an exception group, and I can create a new one. For example, very safe site. I want to be sure to enable my personal website, so myblog.com, myfinance.com, etc. We can also stick past an entire list. I can click on it, and then I will link my very safe site. That's useful differently from the legacy dashboard. It's useful because I can also link the same exception group to another policy. If I change policy, if I go to master protection policy, my computer is a beta. It's a continuous beta, and if I go to policy, I can assign the same very safe website exception group. In this way, we can reuse and we can really speed up the administration. Think about a pretty wide multi-tenant environment. It would be useful to combine different groups and also take benefit of the shared policy. So if I need to manage my first customer, okay, tenant number one, I can switch to my tenant, okay, it's still blank, it's empty, but right here we can see the same shared policy. We can decide to create new custom policies, or we can reuse the previous shared policy in my tenant. If you have 10, 100, 1000 tenants, you can decide to manage the entire protection of your tenants through 2, 3, 4, or 5 different policy sets. It's really faster than ever. Now, let me come back to the slides just to complete the licensing feature, and then let me reply to your question. Now, we have two main different license set. The one is for ISPs and telcos, okay? It's an embedded protection into the connectivity. And we have 3 versions: Core Lite, Core Max, Core Ultra, with different features and different privileges. The cheapest one, the Core one, has threat protection, parental control, hourly basic policy. It doesn't contain application blocker, IP blocking, the cloud box. The cloud box is not present in the very basic product line, but is present starting from the Core Max and up. And we have the query per second, because the ISPN telco line is based on query per second, okay? 15 the first one, 25 the second, and the starting tier for the Ultra, the most complete license, start with 50 QPS. Second license set is a secure line for MSPs, system integrators, and resellers. So for channel dealers working with the FlashStart license to protect their own customer base. And we have 3 different lines. The Essential, this is very new, very cheap. It has been launched 2 or 3 weeks ago, more or less. The Secure Essential line is a very low price protection to be combined with a network router, okay? It allows you to roll out the basic protection, including malware, parental control, safe search, and obviously DOH and DOT at a very low price. The Pro license, I believe it's very well known in the FlashStart channel partner network, also contains everything from the Essential, and the analytic report geo-blocking, the stop page, the block page customization with company logo, custom messages, etc., and policy scheduling. The Plus version contains the application blocker, the IP blocking, the cloud box, the one you have already displayed because it's also useful for company, and the Microsoft Active Directory integration. This feature will be present starting from the month of July. In 40-45 days also, the Active Directory will be present right here.